things I want to say before I get the review started. One, I'm going to do a little review about what happened at the end of Bound for Glory, what happened with Austin Aries. I'm not going to lie, I didn't notice it. I really did not notice what Austin was doing when the final pin happened. So I'm going to make a video on that, and it should come out right after this. Two, I saw a little bit of Raw, not much, a couple of minutes. I was not interested in Raw. And when it came to Dean Ambrose, what did I tell you? The WWE is trolling you. He was supposed to turn heel and he still hasn't. And they have now buried, pretty much, they buried Braun Strowman for Roman Reigns. Braun Strowman, one of the most strongest, not just physically, but one of the most strongest characters they had that people loved. They have buried his ass. Now maybe Drew McIntyre, you see I'm thinking about what's going to be said for Austin Aries, I'm sorry. Drew McIntyre may be doing something because it looks like he may have a feud with Braun Strowman. That's about it. And when it came to the Bellas, let's put it to you like this. They weren't lying. What? I'll give it to you like this. What Ronda Rousey said, everyone agrees. The Bellas are not legends. The Bellas are barely anything than candy and managers. And they've been doing what they can to play off their beauty, being pretty much twins, and sleeping with two popular wrestlers. And now one has a baby from one of them, and the other one has no one unless they got back together. And I'm talking about John Cena and Nikki. I don't know. To be honest, I don't care. Now, I got that done. Let's get into the Smackdown 1000. Now, like I said, I saw a little bit of Raw last night, and I didn't like it. I didn't care. I didn't like it. The general stuff, I didn't care about. There was maybe one or two snippets, but that doesn't make a good show. I look at Smackdown Live, and I won't lie. I have been frustrated with Smackdown Live, particularly how they've been booking lately. They haven't been doing much with the women. They have not been doing much with the Usos and the tag titles. They have not been doing anything. And to be honest, not much has changed. Not much has changed. For some of these people, not much has changed. But admittedly, showing some of the older people who used to wrestle, some of the older wrestlers, some of the older people that were there, it made it interesting. But in the end, I do believe that even though there was a lot of good interesting things there, still not a great show. An okay show. Borderline okay. I say about a C. That's what we got here. We got some good eye candy, but it doesn't give us a lot of substance. Let's get started with one of the highlights of the show, and that is R-Truth or Truth TV. This was a highlight. Not gonna lie. I enjoy R-Truth. I enjoy Carmella. I enjoy that nice piece of shaking booty. Well, let's take this back. They both shake their booty because everyone was so happy that they brought back Truth TV. They were chanting for R-Truth. They weren't chanting for Carmella. They were chanting for R-Truth. And then they proceeded to dance not once, not twice, but 3 times. I'll explain about the third one later. But in the end, everyone loves Truth TV. At least that was at the stadium. R-Truth is very charismatic. If they keep doing this, he's going to really get more out of his time left in that company. If they let him keep doing this with Carmella, they don't screw it up, they let him become whatever he wants, we will have some more fun on the show. He's more entertaining, to be honest, than the New Day right now. New Day's not doing anything, and he's way more entertaining. Now, we got Steph, we got Shane, and then we got No Chance in Hell and Vince. Now, I know about what's going on with Crown Jewel. I know about the death of the... I'll put it to you like this. This is not uncommon in that region of the world. I do not condone anyone being killed. And I'm not fond of the WWE basically screwing up every bit of their booking, their storylines, and basically pissing off their fans for the Saudi Arabian population. I'm not fond of it. But to be honest, I don't see them canceling the show. Not for us, not for the government. Unless something really bad happens where either their talent leaves, in other words, they don't go to Saudi Arabia, or one of their talent gets hurt because of Saudi Arabia, I don't think they're going to cancel it. Unless they're going to be only producing it on the network and not leave, you're going to be seeing them in Saudi Arabia. That's where I see it. Now, did the crowd love everybody there? Yes, they did. And it was Vince himself taking away what Stephanie tried to play up the crowd as a heel, and Shane trying to play up the crowd as a face, which he got way over. Vince said the best thing to do is dance. And I do not understand, if you see Vince dance, which he can't dance, why do you only last 7 seconds? With that, you should have left it in the ring and let them dance longer than 7 seconds. And cut away as quickly as possible. That happened more than once during the show, and that is a major problem with me. When you shouldn't be cutting away at very special moments, you cut away. Like, for instance, the tag match of New Day versus The Bar. And I think I said this in my Super Showdown review. The Bar will probably get the chance to get the titles on a Smackdown Live. And guess what? They just did. And the major problem I saw, next to them not just letting them do it at Super Showdown, which was kind of stupid. They should have done it at Showdown. You got Booker T and you got the King at commentary. And the worst thing, you seem to be wanting them to do commentary, but then you keep cutting away to the regular team, and then when they're cut to it, and they don't know, you see Booker T tapping the King on his arm saying, hey, we're on. Basically tapping him like that. And then they have to act, and then as quickly as they're doing it, they cut away to it. Why didn't you just let the King and Booker T just do it themselves? That would have been a real nostalgia. You know what would have been better? Bringing in Michael Cole and calling Taz to come back and do commentary for one match. Let Taz come back if he was willing to do it. You never know. He could be a dick as well, or they never called him. I don't know. But if you had Taz and Michael Cole together, that would have been special. And if you couldn't get them, Booker T and the King isn't bad, but you should have left the camera on them, or at least let the mic work and shut up everybody else. That made it really bad. I'm just saying. Now, we had a video segment from several people. John Cena. Let me put it to you like this with John. Was that segment meaningful? You could say yes. Would it have been better in the ring? Yes, it would have been. I think either up the ramp at the Titantron or in the ring, it would have been more profound than him doing a video package on his camera somewhere or in the back. It just didn't feel like it was substantial. It just didn't. It was meaningful, but it didn't feel substantial. Then The Rock wasn't there, who should have been there. As far as I could tell, The Rock didn't show up. And there was no video package. There was a tweet from him. Where's The Rock's tweet? I mean, what is The Rock's tweet compared to him being on the show or having a video package? If he's on location or somewhere else in the world, at least they should have did a video package of him. Unless I missed it, because the stream did drop multiple times. I think a lot of people wanted to see the Smackdown 1000 because I was getting a lot of drops on the stream. It just kept freezing. So if he was shown, I missed it. You guys can tell me below. But if there was no Mr. Smackdown when it comes to 1000, then that was really a stupid thing, just having him do a tweet. Now, we had the Cutting Edge, which was a very good segment for Edge and definitely a great segment for Becky Lynch. Once Edge came out, I thought, well, this is going to be a good segment. Until Becky Lynch came out, and I wasn't feeling it for the simple reason that he's trying to turn her face. And she's already a face. He's trying to convince her, you can't act like this towards your friend. I burnt bridges because I'm willing to destroy and get anything I want. He really got into that moment. And I commend him. I loved it. But to know that he's trying to convince him to be friends with Charlotte, who's clearly the heel in this, who caused this mess, it actually pissed me off. It did. And then Becky did the most sweetest thing, and I love her for that. He pretty much said, are you happy? You can't be happy doing this. And she says, you know, you're right. I'm not happy. I love this. Not in those many words, but she pretty much said, because he's trying to get her to be a good guy and trying to see things his way, she made it very clear, I'm doing this my freaking own way. You should know this better than anybody. You did the damn same thing. You actually think I'm going to be nice to her? It's her fault. She didn't say it, but that's what everyone knows this is all about. Charlotte, who went away for 2 months, came back, gets a freaking title, and gets a freaking spotlight from Becky, who is now being forced to be a bad guy by management, by the writing team. And no one is buying it. No one is booing Becky. Everyone is still cheering for Becky. Everyone is booing Charlotte. And this makes this really bad, because it's only a matter of time before the crowd will turn on Becky and Charlotte, and they're not going to care about anybody. The beatdown happened, and in the end, it was a good segment. And I did love how Becky just made it clear, I love who I am. I love my title. I don't care. That's what she said to Edge and hopefully to management. Now, let's see here. A very, very, very short thing that is another problem. Rusev versus The Miz. It was an extremely short match because of how much was in the show. I understand that. But you're honestly telling me 100% that you have the match that fast. Aiden English interferes, which is understandable. Aiden English interferes. Lana kicks him in the nuts. He's crumpled to the floor, as you see in my face. Rusev grabs him, throws him around, and within a few seconds of him getting thrown around next to the commentary table, they cut. Are you telling me that it's that packed that when people really need to see the beatdown of Rusev to an Aiden English, you're willing to just cut it that quick? Couldn't you have, and I understand this, they did a whole bunch of video packages showing Smackdown for the last, 21 years? Or 20 years. Sorry, I think 21 years. All that time. And you couldn't just forget putting that many video packages up. The beginning of the show, I understand. 5 minutes, you want to show it. But about a minute or 2 or 3 of video packages throughout this entire show. You could have gave that to Rusev and Aiden English. You could have given that to Shane, to Steph, to Vince, to see how stupid he dances. I can't dance. I know that feeling. I'm not a dancer. But seeing it dance and you cut it within a few seconds, you could have saved more time that way. But let's move on. We now have, oh yeah, I forgot to say this. And this was to the tag match between The Bar and the New Day. Having Big Show chokeslam Kofi was such a waste. There's no storyline for Big Show. There's no reason for Big Show to chokeslam Kofi. It made no sense for the Big Show to chokeslam Kofi unless there's some type of content behind it, which there was none, and I didn't like it. It was dumb. They should have done this at Super Showdown. I should have said this earlier. I forgot. I'm sorry. But this should have happened at Super Showdown where Kofi, where Xavier should have just lost and there wouldn't be no problem, period. And this just looked bad. It's just me. Now, the next part will be AJ and Daniel Bryan versus the Usos, which hurt me so bad. It wasn't the fact that you got AJ Styles working with Daniel Bryan. That's not the problem. The problem was, what were you doing with the Usos? Nothing. I felt bad for the Usos for the last couple of months. They've been doing absolutely nothing. And now, guess what? They just jobbed to two of the biggest talents they got on the show. Now, many people say, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, it is, because the Usos... Sorry. I'm botching. Because it hurts me that the tag titles are doing nothing. Yes, now you're going to have the Bar holding them. And maybe we'll start getting fresh matches now, because now the Bar is the one who's the champs. But as it stands, what are the Usos doing? Nothing. Was the match good? It was okay. A bit botchy, particularly with Daniel Bryan when he did his backflip. But it's understandable. You can't get everything properly. In the end, the Usos lost. I just felt, ugh. Now, Evolution. Rick looked old. Batista looked skinny. Tell me, you remember what Batista looked before? He was muscled out and jacked. Now, Batista looked petite. He looked smaller than Randy Orton. And I'm not saying he was the same height as Randy Orton. He isn't. But he was always bigger than Randy. And now Randy's bigger than him. And that's shocking because Randy Orton was never a large guy compared to Batista or Triple H. But now, Randy Orton's bigger than them both. Of course, he is doing whatever he's doing. But, was the segment good? It was okay for what it was. It was a nostalgic trip. It just hurts to see the situation. What is going on with Batista and those red glasses? Does he have a problem with his eyes? Someone tell me below. Because I don't know. But in the end, did we get something substantial? Yes, we did. It was special. It felt special. It really was special. Particularly once Batista started talking. Rick really didn't talk much. He didn't talk very much. Triple H didn't talk much. Randy did. Of course. He had to say, I'm the one that has been putting in the time. You got the guy who's running the place. You got the guy who's retired. You got the guy who's doing movies. Pretty much not willing to do anything in the ring. But I'm the one who's doing it. Fine. But then Batista started talking. And he made the entire segment mean something. Particularly at one point when he started talking about Triple H, the 14-time champ who has done it all but not beat me. And you could see them just staring a hole for each other, which I don't think is a work. Totally. I think that is kind of a sort of shoot. Because Batista never lost to Triple H mostly. Never did. So if he hasn't lost to The Undertaker, well, of course, he's been losing The Undertaker for a long time. And not only one, he has never beaten Batista. But they hugged it out afterward and then they cut away. I'll say that was good. I did enjoy it. It was a nostalgic type of thing. I was alright with it. Now, let's see. Anything else here? Let's see. There was Naomi. No Tamina. Yes, we saw Lana. But we saw no women's matches at all. So this was not about the women at all. And I'm so... Well, isn't Evolution coming? What about the women? A video package for the women don't mean anything without the women doing something. So I find this just... Ugh. Now, let's get to Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rey Mysterio. Rey is cut. I remember Rey being chubby. I remember Rey being thick. The man had gained a lot of weight. And for a small guy who's smaller than me, I'm about 5'8.5". Rey's maybe 5'3", 5'4". He is not a tall guy. He's smaller than me, I think. But he was thick. He gained a lot of weight. Not a lot of muscle, a lot of weight. Now he trimmed down. He looked like he did back in the 90s. The man is basically jacked. The man got it like this. And he looked great going up against... Oh, I can't stand seeing Shinsuke Nakamura like this. What are they doing with Shinsuke? Nothing. Great match. But what did it mean to Shinsuke? Particularly that he got cut in his head or his nose by Rey Mysterio, probably doing the 619. Rey has been doing that a lot. Hurting people with that 619, if that was the way he hurt him. But when it comes down to it, Shinsuke Nakamura basically is doing nothing. If Ray's back, give the title to Ray. I'm being honest here. I still like Shinsuke. I love him as a heel. But honestly, he needs to just drop the title and give it to somebody. Give it to Ray. Give it to Ray. He needs to hold it. Finally, well, I got to take it back. I almost forgot. Ray, along with The Miz, is now in what? The WWE World Cup. Who cares? Now, the final thing that was just, I didn't care. And it hurt. And that was Taker. Taker coming out and basically saying simply that at Crown Jewel, you're going to see them rest in peace. I can be more descriptive, but there's no point in it. It was less than 2 minutes. It was not even a minute. It took him longer to come out and do his promo. That's what it was. His walkout was longer than his promo. And then he walks back. I'm going to tell you this, guys. I love The Undertaker. He wasn't my absolute favorite wrestler, but I loved him. When I saw him at Super Showdown, I was done. This is not Undertaker. I don't care about this person. I would always feel something good every time when The Undertaker came out. Even in the last year, it hasn't been great, but at least there was something special about him. There's nothing special now. He doesn't feel special. Yes, he's back, and at least for a brief time, and he is going to be doing something. Maybe he'll even work Survivor Series. But after his performance, and it was probably near an hour of wrestling content from him and Triple H, it was so bad, I'm completely turned off to The Undertaker. It's that bad. The Undertaker looked horrid. If you saw my thumbnail, I don't have it anymore, but The Undertaker looked so bad. He felt so bad. Seeing this promo, I didn't care. And I should care. That's how bad the WWE has booked him and everyone else. How did I feel about this show? It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I say it was okay. C. Maybe near C+. Yes, there were some good moments in it. But let's be honest. What does it give us for the rest of the year? Nothing. Nothing really substantial for Evolution. Yeah, they're building for Crown Jewel, but there's not much there anyway, particularly with the controversy of that dead journalist. And nothing's going to be special for Survivor Series because you're going to be doing it at Evolution. And you're going to be doing it at Crown Jewel if they have Crown Jewel. It's just my point of view. You guys tell me below. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.